Hello everyone, this is DavidViadel23 and welcome to the Manga Cave. Today we are gonna be talking about Bleach and my experience a little bit, what things I would change, things like this, okay? Obviously I'm gonna be talking a lot about the spoilers, so I invite you to click here if you haven't watched the whole Bleach yet or you are almost finishing, because I'm gonna be talking about the last saga, the latest fights and everything, and obviously this is not something new. Bleach is being finished for a very long time, but I don't want to spoil you, and how I recommend it in the previous video to watch this series, because it's nice, it's very nice series. I don't want to give many spoilers if you haven't watched it yet. So if you haven't watched it, please click in that link. You will be redirected to my main page. You can see other videos from One Piece, from Inktober, from Lord of the Rings, from Harry Potter, many different things. Storyboard, sketchbook tours as well, with other stories. So yeah, after some time rereading the manga, I have finished Bleach again. Okay, as you can see, this is the picture, the drawing that we did in the previous video. The previous video, I'm gonna be putting it here. I've been talking about the storytelling, the world building in Bleach, some flaws that I find that they make no sense for me, and some things that I would have liked to see more worked or more with more time. So I think Bleach is a series that you need to watch week by week. Watching the whole thing together in one go, you can get everything very fast, and some of the timings that you have during sagas or during the evolution of the characters are not as remarked as for my first experience reading it, for example, when I was doing it the first time, okay, reading the manga and watching the anime the first time, okay. So I wanted to analyze my experience in general, and for this, today I think I fancy completing a little bit the crew, the team, okay. We have here Ichigo that we drew the other day in his initial form with the initial Sanpakuto, the initial katana that he had. We have a small Rukia here. So the idea is to do around here the other guys. We will do Inoue, we will do Renji, Uryu, and Sado, Chad. So I want to see how we can define the characters, and as you can see, this is cartoony, my cartoony style, like I normally do. I want to kind of situate more or less the characters, how are they gonna be, okay. Obviously keeping in mind that it's gonna be tiny characters this time. If you realize this is a almost finished pencil, look at this, this is my finger, look at this, is smaller than a finger. So I kind of, within my experience, I want to draw them how I think in cartoony as well they will be, okay? Like Uryu, for example, that I'm going to be drawing here. I see him, even if it is kind of the same size as Ichigo, I see him a little bit more tall and thin, so probably something like that. I don't want to show much the face either, so probably he is... yeah, something like this. And I'm gonna be drawing them with the kind of initial forms that we meet them at the very beginning of the story, even if I'm gonna be talking about the end and the last saga mainly, because I find them more familiar, and I have to say I like more these forms than the newer forms in the story, okay? So Uryu is wearing this kind of Quincy cape, okay. All of this is gonna be kind of at the bottom, like I've done here, like sand or smoke or something that is kind of from the battlefield. So I'm not gonna be drawing feet most probably, but we can have the cape like this. We'll do maybe a little bit of the bow that he has, okay. feel free as well, before I start kind of analyzing and complaining about Bleach and explaining things that I would have liked to see better or differently done, feel free as well to put your comments down below in the comment section so I can read them and go through them and have a conversation with you and everything, because my experience, I read it multiple times, Bleach, and I read multiple times other stories as well, so I can be a little bit biased by by the so many times reading it and maybe going too much into detail in the story, okay? But as I said, feel free to open conversation and let's see all the things that we can talk about. Some of the points explained by Kubotite don't work very well, okay? So let's start a little bit from the end, and that it's the very last episode, that this is what they are doing as well now in anime. The Blood Wars and everything. So 10 years after that, 10 years after the defeating of Iwak or Iwak, I don't know how you pronounce it properly, but 10 years after the defeating, we see this a scenario where they are more adults and they have kids and everything. We need to keep in mind that Ichigo was 15, 16 during the whole story, and now 10 years after he's 25. Maybe in Japan they have the concept that families, young people have families earlier and everything, but in some other places not. So I think I see a little bit weird for me nowadays to see someone like Ichigo, who wasn't thinking at all about kids, or Inoue, that wasn't thinking at all about kids either, see them in that scenario of a family having the kids and everything. So the Ichigo kid, the Renji kid, for me, not for me, Kubo. I'm a very, very Bleach fan. Even if I'm gonna be pointing out things that don't work very well, that doesn't mean I don't like it. I will do other videos talking specifically maybe only about Urryu, and obviously telling his story and praising him and seeing all the good things. But for today, the analysis after finishing the whole read again is gonna be a little bit more critical, obviously, because I wanna point things that for me don't work that well, I would say, okay? So the Renji kid, the Ichigo kid, all this story, no, for me it doesn't work. For a Bleach fan, I think that we've been following the story for like 20 years, something like this, it doesn't work. So by this, Kubo leaves the story open, and I understand, to continue with, the dead Shinigamis, more than 3rd level power or 4th level power, so they can bring someone else taking over the story later, can bring, like they done in Dragon Ball, for example, they can bring back major players like Genro Isai, the Captain Commander of Gote 13, and to fight these new hollows with the holes outside the body, with Salaraporro and everything. Basically, it's an open story at that point, that you can follow the story of the kids. What are they going to be doing? How are they going to be growing and evolving? And the Sanpakutos revealing, and obviously, like in Naruto and everything, next generations are stronger than the older ones. But for me, I don't like it. So obviously, spoilers ahead as well for Naruto, that at some point I will talk about Naruto as well in the story. The same thing happens here, and I think maybe the story has been squeezed, I will say squeezed a little bit, for the sake of business, okay, for the sake of business. And I will understand, I understand this, because if I think about it, that I'm a designer as well, and I see all these success with my story, for example, obviously you fall into the temptation of extending it too much. When you have material to extend, there is no problem, but when you don't have material to extend and you are repeating a little bit the same thing and the same thing, it's a little bit, for me, uncomfortable to watch, okay? So we're gonna be drawing Inoue. This is gonna be Inoue with this pose like this, okay? As you can see, these are the clothes, kind of the clothes that they use at the beginning when they are gonna be invading the the Soul Society to rescue Rokia. And Inoue, obviously she needs to be a little bit more cartoony. I love cartoony characters, so for me, you will excuse me if I go for some of the characters more cartoony than normal, like this. Obviously I will define everything more when we are in the process of drawing the whole line work, okay, but let's see. Yeah, something like this, just for me to have like an initial idea of where I want to have the characters, okay? As I was saying, this is business, and as a fan like me can't enjoy it much, but I understand that they can be pressed, for example, by the magazine, by the animation studios to want to create a little bit more of content, a little bit more of lore, because this is successful. We have the big three they've been always been called the big three, Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. Obviously, we have Dragon Ball and other powerful mangas around, but Dragon Ball is a little bit older than these three. Okay, so when you're an author in Japan or in Europe, in USA, anywhere, you make deals with publishers, with TV studios, etc. So you may sign already for a prequel or another part of the universe or another character development, things like this, like in Star Wars, for example, that they are doing a lot of lore around the main story, or not at all, because at the end of the day, this is your story, but you have these contracts that maybe it make you continue with the story in a way that maybe for the fan it is not that interesting. I will say that interesting for me. Probably there are many people around here or watching the video that you enjoyed the whole thing, and you enjoyed the ending and the latest saga and everything. I enjoyed it, but it could have been improved in many ways, and the ending could have been closed in a very different way. But I understand it, okay? So I'm putting this video here to debate and to talk about everything in theory. I'm a little bit scared of the end of One Piece after seeing all these things, because I don't want this to happen, obviously. It's happening everywhere, and yeah, but I don't think Oda will follow the same pattern, but we will see. If you want to see as well some One Piece theories, I'm going to put here a list, so you can drop by, watch some videos, and see which ones you like and everything. So let's define Sado Chad here a little bit. Okay, we have this kind of curly hair. Sado is a Mexican descendant guy living in Japan, and super friend with Ichigo since the very beginning, since before, maybe this is too big of a head, since before going to this high school and everything, they were friends. And when I do a Sado chat only video, I will talk about him in more detail, but for now I want to situate more or less here. And we want to see the arm. So I think I'm gonna take as a reference the arm first. Like we will make the arm and then him around the arm. It's gonna be easier for me to be able to define what is gonna be the shape of him. Okay. Obviously, I don't want to draw the whole thing. It's gonna be only like this. But yeah, it works like this in this position. It works. Final battle versus Iwak. It's a okay ending, but I see Kubo had to use a lot of text to explain what's going on and to define what's going on in the story. That is something that in a manga you need to tell, or in a story, in a comic, you need to tell with the drawings, okay? Bleach is always been very lengthy in explanations, and you have the fights and the powers and a lot of text, and some of them like haiku, like poems in Japanese, explain some of the attacks and some of the things, and it is good, but I mean here at the end there was a lot of explanation, because probably there is this feel of the story being rushed at the end. Okay, if you have ending clear since the very beginning, these things don't normally happen, or if you have the ending a little bit more work, these things normally don't happen. But it felt a little bit rushed. I heard the stories as well, I'm not sure if they are true or not, that Bleach was rushed, and they said, probably from the magazine, they said, hey, you have to finish it by this time, because the story, we can't continue putting it up there. I'm not sure if it is 100% veridic story, but we have it there, okay? We have it there as a situation that I know that happened, or I read in multiple places that happened, okay? Let's define our characters, because there's a lot of things that I want to say. And I don't want to focus only in the text and not draw much, okay? So this is gonna be Sado here. We're gonna make here the shirt, and then he's here behind Rukia, so we don't see him fully. This is brazo derecho del gigante, the right arm of the devil, of the giant. Yeah, and obviously all of these things we will define in a moment. The shirt, and we have Inoue, we have Uryu, we have Sado here, and we are gonna go now for Renji. Okay, Renji as well, kind of a little bit taller than Ichigo. We'll make the drawing like this, probably. And the hair, very loose type of hair like this, like spiky. I wanna draw him with the bandana. I love the glasses. Maybe I draw him with the glasses. These glasses are very nice as well. These kind of snowboard glasses that he is very fun and he's always wearing. We don't know why, it makes no sense, but he's always wearing. And it makes sense as well that I do Renji a little bit more cheeky with a smile like this. Probably we do the glasses a little bit smaller when we are drawing the whole thing, but okay. Our guys are kind of defined here. Renji has always been a little bit more tall, I would say. In my opinion, I think he's a little bit taller, but yeah, this one there, and more ground here that we will paint as well. Okay. Yeah, something like this is cool. We'll do a little bit here of the neck because he has a lot of tattoos, and I want to show a little bit of the tattoos here, maybe on the neck, on the front here as well. But as soon as I start with the other thing we will design that. I want to make sure that we are on frame. I think we are on frame nice. Drawing a little bit Sabimaru here as well, with the spikes. This sword extends, and this is connected like through cables and everything. This is very nice, very epic sword. I like very much the design of the Sanpaku Toshi in the story, but yeah. Let's kind of, we have this, and now we have the hand here. Yeah. Maybe Sado, I don't know if I may have draw him a little bit too small then. He's not that different on size with Ichigo, but you can do the face like this. He's kind of maybe looking up, something like this. Can be interesting. As well, I know some of you follow the drawings as I go and continue maybe doing a little bit more slow the watching of the video, so you can draw it as well. Feel free to do that and send me some images to see, some drawings to see, and I appreciated those things as well, and I enjoy it as well. It is very nice. if just one person is able to maybe take a pencil and draw, because we are talking about these things, that is beautiful, beautiful concept in my opinion. Okay, I'm gonna go already into 0.05, like we did this one as well, so we can define more things already. Okay, so the Ichigo's point at the end with the training and the Royal Palace and the Squadron Zero, I think is very useless, because nothing happens that we have a major fight. I think I see he needed a power up, yes, but it is not highly used at the very end with the fight. Okay, so he's directly going into the fight with Iwak and everything, and he is far superior. He breaks his sword twice, he drains his Quincy power full, the hollow powers too. This is because his mom, she was a Quincy, the father was a Shinigami, the Quincy mom was attacked by a Whitey, they call it Whitey in the translation, and this is the hollow that Aizen created, like a Bizard, like for hollowification. So we see this in the final saga explained as well with the Bizards and everything, that it is very interesting. Aizen, I think, is the best villain in the story, the best villain in many stories as well. It is nicely drawn and nicely designed in the board. Okay, so the plan, the story, what he's doing, what is happening, what he's doing in the background, while the others that are trying to stop this unknown evil, they are completely lost. I think that is a very nice character, and so because of him, this Whitey, this hollow creature with something in the hole, is not a proper hole, they put something in the hole. He attacks the mother gets saved, but Ishin, the father, has to sacrifice his Shinigami powers, kind of creating like some sort of a barrier, I will say, some sort of barrier, some sort of different it's like a seal, I will say, more like a seal. So the mother is not gonna die. They are gonna be having a baby later. They're gonna be having Ichigo later, so they can have the baby and everything, and they grow together, and very nice, very interesting. But all of this is because of Aizen. So I think, yeah, Kubo has taken a lot of references from the Aizen saga to do the end of the story as well, and it makes sense to have Aizen tied with the end of the story. That I love it. I'm saying this one is very nice, and I love it. We do Inoue, drawing Inoue here. She has this shirt with the design of the Rika, the power that she has with Tsubaki and the rest of the guys. Very epic, very nice. I love her power. Let's define a little bit like this, and then yeah, something like this. And she's gonna put the hands like this at the back. She's like, hello. We need to do. Then when we paint it later, we will see. I wasn't paying attention much that actually there is a lot of criticism and a lot of bullying through Ichigo because he has orange hair in the story, and they do put a lot of emphasis at the beginning. And Inoue, she never suffered that, and she actually has as well orangey brown hair as well, more orange than brown. But anyway, that I think it's a flop a little bit in the story, but anyway. So, how is Iwak defeated at the end? Well, Ryu has this arrowhead thrown at him to cancel his powers, and then Ichigo cuts him with the Shinigami powers with Sangetsu. That Sangetsu is Iwak, is references from the powers. So, why would Ichigo have Sangetsu shaped Sanpakuto if Iwak previously have taken all his Quincy powers? So Sangetsu looked originally like Iwak because he was imbued with his power. Shouldn't his sword have come back to normal sword, this one here? these words here. So I would buy it. I would buy it only if the katana would have looked like that at the very beginning, like at the very beginning of the series, when he actually didn't awaken yet any kind of Quincy anything. So like a massive sword, Reiatsu charged sword without development. Then I would say it makes sense that the sword comes back. But coming back to Zangetsu, it can't be, because he just stole all your powers, and we have defined that Zangetsu was the kind of form that the sword had, the Sanpakuto had, because Iwak was kind of he kind of gave him some powers in the past, something like that. Okay, so it makes no sense, that part for me. Tell me in the comment about this specific, because maybe I'm a little bit confused here, and I read a couple of times, but maybe I'm a little bit confused here and I don't understand properly what is going on. But yeah, okay, so Uryu is going around the whole time, infiltrated. He confesses at the very end that he's playing his card so he can set up these mini bombs of Reishi that only he can activate. It hasn't been used either. Hashwald didn't find them all, only a few. Why? Nothing exploded at the end. We wanted explosions from Ryu. We wanted... Ryu is strong, and I wanted to see him doing something radical in the story at the very end, at least. And he let me down a little bit with the concept of what was going to happen there to him. I like the fight and everything, and I'll talk a little bit about it in a second, but it could have been handled a little bit better, this part, okay? Let's draw the hair like this. He has this very nice long hair. This is the beginning of the story. Later he has it a little bit longer, but I like more this one like this, okay? The glasses. Okay. And the typical Quincy outfit that, funnily enough, later we don't see the design of the Quincy's being any similar or to any resemblance to what he's wearing now. The only thing is that they are wearing white, but yeah, this is what I say in the previous videos as well, that when I want to see some kind of consistency with the story, this is what I'm talking about, okay? It has, this is the top, and I want to draw him with very long legs, so all of this is gonna be legs like this, okay? He has this kind of rope like this, and probably we do the design for the bow there as well on the back, okay? Looking nice so far, looking nice. When I saw his father, Uryu's father, and Ichigo's father showing up, bringing up Uryu, the arrowhead, I was like, why? 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 This is very random, question mark, very random, never mentioned before the arrowhead, never suggested, super fantastic random item brought last minute, never mentioned before, that will defeat Iwak. Well, if you are reading just for the sake of reading, well, okay, there's a magic item that is going to be able to help you because the Quincy's have the secrets, blah, 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 etc. Okay, cool. But if you are into the story, following these guys across real world, Soul Society, Hueco Mundo, and everything, and now the final saga here, and you are living the story, trying to understand all the world building that you have here and why some items are doing this and some items are doing that, it has no much sense, to be honest. If you have said, for example, to me that the parents came to bring in the Horyoku, that one that Aizen used, for example, and because that one you can use it as well to cut a little bit somehow the powers of the Quincy's in a specific way, I buy it. I would actually praise it, and I will say it makes sense because Aizen wanted this, and we didn't want why actually he wanted it so bad until later he explains and everything. So the idea about having an item that it can help you cut the powers, defeat the enemy and everything, that is interesting. I like it. That's something that I like it very much. But don't give me a random item, okay? Just give me something that I can relate to, I can understand, is coming from the past, story, from the beginning of the story, and it's coherent within the whole concept of Bleach. Why? The parents just came to deliver the arrow. Why? Weren't you super strong, Ishin? We haven't seen the father of Ryu fighting, but Ishin is super strong. He was a captain. Go ahead and try to face some of the big guys, some of the Eastern Ritters. My God, yeah, just have them doing something, not just showing up. I understand that this is like a family reunion at the end of the story for the sentimentalism, but at the storytelling level, it doesn't work. It is not necessary. It is not necessary to have all the guys, the Fullbringers, the Bizards, everyone there. It makes a little bit no sense for me. Don't take me wrong, okay? I love Bleach. I like it. If you just look at the story, read the story, yeah, it's a good story, yeah. For me, it has like a 7, something like that in my scale. But it has his holes here and there, and some of the things in storytelling and in world building, it doesn't work. I understand that not everyone is like Oda or like Tolkien, and they don't make these super massive worlds and everything, and I understand it, but I don't know. It gave me a little bit of sensation, even if I already watched the whole thing, before, it gives me a little bit of a weird taste aftertaste, because I wanted the things a little bit more coherent in the sense of storytelling, okay? But hey, I understand it is what it is, and at the end of the day, I have to say that I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, and I had a good time reading it, rereading it, and I have a good time talking about it, drawing the characters, and I definitely want to do in the future some of the characters explained. So you, as a reader as well, if you have some doubts about the storytelling that we have in the story, you can say, oh, why Rukia, this happened to Rukia at the very end? I will explain to you why that happened specifically and how that happened, okay? But yeah, I'm looking forward to do those videos. As I said in many of my videos before, I'm trying to balance the change from Inktober 52, that I'm gonna put Inktober 52 here. That was the challenge I've been doing for a full year in the story, in the channel, and basically that was drawing a prompt per week with a prompt that they were giving you, with a topic that they were giving you, and there what I've done is now to finish the project, very nice, but change to other topics. So now I'm drawing a little bit of Bleach, a little bit of Lord of the Rings, a little bit of Harry Potter, putting some sketchbook tours, things like this I mentioned at the beginning of the video as well. But I want to balance, so I want to be able to keep half of the channel One Piece, to continue with the One Piece that is the story that I like the most of them all, and then give you some Lord of the Rings, some characters from Lord of the Rings, some characters from Harry Potter, some characters from Bleach every now and then as well, etc., and include as well comics that I'm reading, books that I'm reading, series that I'm watching, and things that I'm finishing as I go, because I'm always reading or watching something, okay? So I love it. So it makes sense for me that I kind of bring many things to the channel regarding art, okay? All of this always talking from the perspective of my experience in art. I studied fine arts, I studied 2 masters in art as well, in animation, in teaching, so I kind of look into a story. When I watch a movie, when I watch a TV show, when I'm reading a story, I try to find the things that work and the things that don't work, and try to express myself and understand why, okay? Why. But yeah, let's carry on a little bit with this whole Bleach concept, okay? The Queen's power, I didn't like it. Iwak, don't give them powers. I've been fed since episode 1 about Quincy. Oh, Uryu, we are extinct. They killed them all. Oh my god, the Shinigamis and the Quincy's, the war. Okay. The introduction that you do with Uryu, with the arrows, there's this reishi that is able to capture reishi energy from the surroundings and create the massive arrow with the sword, with the super strong arrows and everything, with the bow. We don't see that much. Iwak, you are giving them superpowers like you did with Aizen and the Hollows. The Hollows have superpowers that they are able to do this, to do that. Okay, but the Quincy's no. The Quincy's, I want to see them fighting with arrows. You can have the top one, a couple of in the top, fighting like that, yes, but no. Just give us what you showed us, okay? I don't want to see a specific power fighting because they are like a superpower. This is not like a superpower. This is like I want to see him with arrow and bow fighting the Shinigamis, okay? To reminisce, okay? But anyway, Chad, unnecessary there in the final saga. He has no power to defeat anyone, and we know it since the very beginning. Why are you going there? Why are you going there? None of the Wonder Rage you can defeat, no one. Not even the weaker one. Let's give him some stone statues or golems or whatever to hold them with Ichigo and everything. I didn't like that because he was totally unnecessary at that point of the story. Okay? Ganju, the same. I enjoyed a lot him fighting and the way of fighting and the way of talking and the way of joking and everything in the story. But man, you are not strong. Why are you going? Why are you doing all that speech, that running to the tower, to this capsule that is gonna send us to the king's palace and everything? You can't. With the Rukia, yes, you can play around, going around with chat and everything, but here no. Inoue goes with Ichigo to the very end. Why? Ichigo didn't even got healed in the last attempt to attack Iwak. Unnecessary there. You don't need Inoue there. This family reunion, I didn't enjoy it. I know there are main characters, I know they want to see them together, but I think the roles could have been a little bit different. Make Inoue, for example, make Inoue with a power, that power is badass power. Make Inoue heal Ichigo as he moves, as he goes around in super power up. Like, attack with Tsubaki. I know Tsubaki is weak, but make Tsubaki a distraction. So Iwak, I don't know, is attacking the eyes of Iwak because Iwak has this kind of darkness power around him, around his head, and he has like I don't know, 20 eyes. Make Tsubaki attack the eyes, and because attacking the eyes, he's kind of blinding some of the future possibilities of the superpower that he has. You know, flying around, attacking up and down, the other guys as well, protecting. It hasn't been used. Just use it nicely. You know, the ability to send a message, for example. You can send one of the Rika powers from the power of Inoue. Send it flying down below to the battlefield where you have, you know, the Gotei 13 fighting. You know, Byakuya is there. At that point, Range is down there as well. Just send it there and send a message. Oh, we got here already. We are fighting this guy already. It's a nice story, but it has its things, okay? So Kubo, if you are watching this, don't take me wrong, okay, please. This is just positive feedback. So if at some point there are more Bleach stories and things like this, yeah, we can even look at it together if you want. We can actually sit and see what things can work better than others, and that's it, okay? I don't mind having different endings that I was expecting, but there is some minimum things, okay? There are some minimum things that I need in the story to be able to close a character, okay? And probably you are watching this and you will agree with me, maybe not, maybe you are happy with the end, or maybe you are a very, very strong fan of Bleach. Me too, but let's be honest, don't tell me that you wouldn't have liked Inoue's power used, for example, in that way, so you can see a little bit more of her fighting. Don't tell me that, for example, you wouldn't have liked Sado, Yasutora, Chad, this guy, Topple, Miracle, the Stern Written Miracle, that one that looks like a Spartan. ate Kenpachi, for example, giving him an actual golem to fight. Wasn't he the strong guy? Brazo derecho del diablo, brazo izquierdo, make a last power up for him, even that he can even become this giant hollow that is able to maybe not defeat Esten Ritter because he's not strong enough, but throw him in the distance or knock him down. Or we see that this Esten Ritter is specifically Miracle. When you kill him, he gets stronger. Okay, why don't you make him, for example, defeat one of the ranges? The first one, for example, he's the first one defeating him, and then boom, he becomes stronger. And then you need to bring Kenpachi, and then you need to bring Byakuya, and then you need to bring Toshiro, Hitsugaya Toshiro there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Without kind of bothering the main story, but involve these weak characters, because these three are very weak. Involve them a little bit in a way that they have a role, they have an important role, or they have their moment. Chad didn't have his moment at the end of the story. Inoue didn't have his moment at the end of the story. Okay, Ganju, for example, make Ganju not unnecessary. Make Ganju disappear completely. He went there, but he disappeared. Make him run around, being very tiny around Miracle, okay? Transforming the floor in sand, so Miracle can fall in the ground, and then Chad can punch on his face and do bam destruction or break his helmet. Something epic, no? Or even Iwak, like he's moving around and then Ganju is making some traps for him to fall there and be trapped a little bit. Like this is basically a typical story from David and Goliath story, okay? I could have seen other ways of finishing these guys, okay? Renji and Rukia, that I'm drawing now Renji here, as you can see. Renji and Rukia, they are buffed. They are buffed. They come from the palace. From training and from healing like Byakuya with the Squadron 0 of the Gotei 13, the strongest. Why don't they have a major bad guy, one of the 4 major bad guys with the Esten Ritters, okay, the Miracle, Pernida, and then Lyle and the other guy. Why don't give them one for each, okay? So they didn't do much when they invited. They fought only one minor Esten Ritter each. They run around finding Ichigo. When we find them, Rukia stays behind, and Renji crosses the portal with Ichigo, carrying Ichigo, following that, he has this emotional speech about, you made me remember my beginnings with Rukia and everything, blah, blah. But he's powerless all the time. Give him a trick. Give him a moment that when he's rapping with the Sanpakuto, with Sabimaru, he's rapping Iwak, and maybe Ichigo is able to cut him because Uryu used the arrow, and then, okay, the arrow is okay, but Uryu used the arrow. Renji wrapped him around to hold him, and then Ichigo is able to cut him or something like that. Give him a little bit of glory. Why having mature, old, Hitsugaya freeze Miracle instead of Rukia? Didn't Rukia awaken the Bankai in the previous fight and she defeated the other guy? Show me how frightening she can be with that man. Show me because of that at the very end of the story she becomes captain. Why she did become a captain when she didn't do anything? She didn't do anything in the story. Like she defeated one guy. It's like you are telling me that we're gonna give captain to everyone who defeated one random guy in the story. It makes no sense. It makes no sense there. Kubo, just if you have made Rukia to do the Bankai there, freezes Miracle, and then Hitsugaya comes and breaks it or something like that, or Chad breaks it, because Chad could have break it, or Byakuya breaks it, whoever you want breaks it, but because of Rukia, we have that save there. That is epic. That is epic, and I will say, man, I would even buy a figurine of Rukia, put it there on my shelf and everything, like I have many other figurines, and then that is cool. That is cool, okay? But I guess I've read so many things nowadays, and you know that, yeah, and all of them are so epic that I'm able to see these little things in the stories, okay, that I would change. And there's nothing wrong about it. It can be a little bit disappointing for me, or maybe my expectations are a little bit too high, but you know, I want to try to find the value in characters that have importance. If you are telling me now, for example, that Sanji is not gonna do anything important at the end of the story, or he's not gonna defeat anyone important because he's not Luffy or he's not Zoro, I will be a little bit disappointed. If Usopp is not gonna do anything, I will be a little bit disappointed as well, okay? So I want the main guys. These are the main guys. I'm not even drawing Ganju here, because he's not one of the main guys. These are the main guys. If I had to draw secondary characters after these guys, I will draw Ganju, Yoruichi, Urahara, okay, these guys, Byakuya, Toishiro. Those guys are secondary characters, and you gave them main character story at the end of the story. So a little bit weird there, but I didn't enjoy much Rukia becoming captain. I wanted Renji to become a captain, because if you are gonna fill the gaps of these other guys, and we are gonna be giving these guys the rank up, let's say the rank up, it makes no sense, because Rukia never wanted to be captain, never mentioned this. He wanted to be, good with the brother, with Nisama and everything, but Renji wanted to be better and to get stronger than his captain, okay? Why don't you make Renji there captain level? So now he feels that he is, oh my god, they recognize my power at the level of Byakuya. Even if you don't have time to show me a fight between these two guys, even if you don't have a moment to show me that Renji is actually, or may have become actually stronger than Byakuya, but put him at the same rank, put him as a captain instead of Rukia, and Rukia can do something else, okay? That, is a little bit random for me. As I'm saying before, I understand that some things are more random than others, but I need to express it, and I need to say what I feel about all the story in general. Okay, we're gonna go into 0.3 because I wanna fill some gaps with the with the rope here. Okay, so don't we need, for example, an explanation why Miracle is to be said the heart of the Soul King and Pernida is the left hand? It's because the Soul King created everything originally, like God, and even the Quincy's, I suppose, and the division. While the Soul King will be in pieces. World building here, please, Kubo. I like the story in general, but Kubo, man, give us some explanations. This, let's say, the Soul King is just a body and a head with these weird eyes like Iwak, okay? So they have a connection that is never been explained. There is some sort of connection there that is never been explained, and it will never be explained, okay? So it is because, for example, when he created the world, let's say when he created the humans, the Soul Society, everything, he created everything. He decided to, my arm is gonna be the Shinigamis, my other arm is gonna be the Quincy's, my leg is gonna be the humans, my other leg is gonna be the Hollows, and I have these 4 realms, let's say. Okay, it makes sense. I don't know, that I'm inventing this right now here as I go, but if he would have said that, Kubo would have said that, there's some sort of explanation there. I can understand why he's in pieces, why he's in this kind of of chrysalid state, like he's like a metapod or something. It's like he's inside a crystal or something. And does he has consciousness? You know, some of the things that, you know, I like it, but it could have been done in another way. Okay. Why not going for the 5 singularities? First of all, you know that they are trouble. Ichigo, Saraki, Kenpachi, Ichibei, the boss of the Zero Division, Aizen, Urahara. Those guys, you mentioned them. Oh, you know, do we need to kill this guy? Do we need to fight this guy? Oh no, don't worry about it. He's not one of the five singularities. Okay. Are you hunting the 5 singularities? Are you hunting these guys? We know that you go to talk with Aizen in the underground prison and everything, and Aizen decides to not help you. We know as well that some of the big guys end up fighting, you know, Saraki, for example. But you don't actually chase them. If you are the master plan and you can see all the futures, wouldn't you see, for example, that you need to send maybe a squadron to kill Saraki first, while he's lost somewhere, that he gets lost all the time, like Zorro? It makes sense for me. Wouldn't you be able to make a trap for Urahara even if you're gonna fail it? Something like this. Couldn't you attack Urahara in the real world, for example? Some of the things, I'm gonna cover my signature here with Renji's ropes, because later I will write it here again, okay? Okay, Renji is looking pretty nice here. I'm gonna do Chad's trousers here in black as well. The hand. Okay, it's looking nice. It's looking nice. I think I like what we have so far. I'm gonna start adding some color, okay? And then we will almost have it, because there is not much color to add if you think about it, to be honest, okay? Okay, so a little bit of color, let's go. Kyoryaku Shunsui, nice fight against Lyle, very nice fight, but he is the boss now, he is the commander there in the Gotei 13, he couldn't finish Lyle. Bring Nanao to help, okay, now still some part of him goes down below when we have Kira, and Kira is gonna find this chicken. Did Kira defeat those birds, those chicken? We don't know either. Just show me a little bit, maybe, you know, the anime is showing a little bit more as things and everything. I'm talking about the manga in general, and I know there are movies about Bleach, there are special about Bleach and everything that I'm not mentioning here, but the thing is, canon is what we have in the manga, okay? Not even the anime is in any manga story. Not even the anime is fully canon, because in the anime, Toei or whoever animates the stories, they basically make up a lot of things for the sake of the story, to have a little bit of a story here and there, and I understand it, okay? I understand it, but some of the things are a little bit more weak than others. It's okay. So I read this thing in one go, as I said. The last part, I mean, full day reading. Maybe Bleach is better reading chunks, as I said at the beginning. I feel the real time giving, and the time between the chapters, okay, between the fights, between the scenes, between the sagas. Ukitaki's story, being the right hand, is very interesting. Simple way for explanation, but it works. I would have liked as well if he would have been able to hold a little bit more, because actually he was kind of the chosen one, like to the heir to be the chosen one, to replace the king, but he didn't hold much, okay? Sometimes it bugs me, Haswell, the number one Shinigami Quincy. That mini backstory with Busby and everything is nice, but why are we becoming Iwak follower if you have all this Busby mini flashback to protect the friend? No. Why even Batsby was a follower. We don't know either. We never explained, because they were probably hungry for power, let's say. It can be they were hungry for power, but I don't buy it much. They have this rancor, they are very reluctant to they want to kill Iwak at the very beginning. So how is this possible that how is this possible that we have them joining the Stern Ritters and the Bander Rage afterwards and everything? No, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And if they are actually there, like Urryu, hiding or in secret to be able to defeat Iwak in secret, he didn't show it. And Kubo didn't show it at the end that they were actually gonna kill them. Busby tried to kill him, yes, but the other guy didn't actually. He kind of just stopped Urryu for some time, and that's it. So please feel free. Maybe it's just me. It's just me that I'm just too used to see very, very, very nice stories out there, and this is a little bit short. It's a very good story, but it's maybe a little bit short. Okay. Where are the legs of the Soul King? And the legs belong to the humans, and the hollows, as I said before, and the main body or the arm is the Shinigami, the other are the Quincy's. How did he divide it himself? Did he rip his body apart? Did someone cut him in pieces? Explain it a little bit. Epic Grimjoe, by the way, comes back. I love Grimjoe. He does his bit of battle. I don't know. I don't know why he was there, but as well the family reunion. But we need a moment with Ichigo, no? Just I think that's maybe one of the characters that you closed nicely, but he's fighting the enemy, the Stern Ritter, and he's saying, "Oh, I'm here because I'm the sworn enemy of Ichigo, and I will kill him." Do a moment at the end of the story. Or even 10 years after that, you've done already 10 years after, do a moment where you have him showing up and pinching him to fight, or maybe not in a way that to kill him, but like in other stories you have that there are some characters that they wanna fight for the sake of fighting. Do that can be very interesting as well. And Ichigo, even if he is, let's say, retired from the Shinigami thing, he has someone like Renji, obviously, that he can fight, and things like this. I missed a little bit that closure for Grinjo as well. Why are the Visors, for example, not transforming? They didn't heal them. They didn't explain if they were healed or not, okay? So they are supposed to be stronger when they are transformed. They are killing them while in the normal form. Aren't we gonna be, for example, seeing Kensei and Love coming back? Did they revive them? They were able to revive them, for example. Kurotsuchi saved them, no, and controlled them. He stole the marionettes, the corpses. Did he revive them somehow? We don't know that part either. So it's difficult to manage a story when it becomes so huge and so titanic, and I understand it, because sometimes one doesn't know what to do with so many characters, and I understand. One Piece level is very high, okay? Like I said, Lord of the Rings is very high too. Ginjo and company, the reunion and everything. Ginjo, he walked all the way to the palace, he was there with us and everything. He didn't do anything. Ginjo just went there to say to Ichigo, "Hey Ichigo, how is it going?" Man, you don't go into enemy territory to say that, to have the other guy transform with his ability the past and recover the sword, but as soon as you recover the sword and cross on the other side, you break it again. So it is unnecessary, because what you've done, it didn't work for anything. Riruka, the girl that stays with Yukio in the capsule, they say, "Oh, Riruka, I know you want to come and fight to help me, but don't come, stay there." Okay, she's gonna stay there. Why did you bring her there in the first place then? Some of the things I can't understand. Trying to find my black color, I think, with this one, because Urryu Ryu is the design is white and blue, so we will add a blue line here underneath. But I wanted to use this, and we will use maybe a little bit of blue as well to create the the bow here. It can be something like this, yeah, the bow. Maybe I do some lines, very thin lines to define it, but not so much. But yeah, I'm liking it. Something like this is looking nice and interesting. Okay. Okay. I liked Aizen, for example. I liked Aizen very much. He has his bit of importance at the end of the story, especially in the final when his ability is confusing Hiwak and he thinks he actually killed Ichigo, but he didn't. That is very nice, in my opinion. For me, in my opinion, that is very nice. Urahara, for example, is absolutely the best. He knows everything. He's ready for everything. I love how he fights. I loved his Bankai, how he's, swinging with the Bankai and he heals himself as well. That fight was very nice as well at the very end with Urahara. Urahara and Aizen, definitely two of my favorite characters in the story. Ikkaku is my favorite character as a character, okay? Not because he does anything special, because he's just a fighter. Ikkaku is one of my... I think I would say my favorite character. Kurotsuchi had a lot of importance in the saga. He was badass, but for me personally, the way of explaining his fights on the conversation with his fights went a little bit too long, too lengthy. I would have that time used in some other parts of the story. For example, to show Sado, Chad fighting, doing something, I would have used those moments for that, for example, okay? Where is my other black color? I'm trying to find here. Let's see, just give me one moment. I have all the colors here separated into bunches, okay? I can't find it at the moment, but I think we can use this other one, okay? And I have the current shake here that is very similar in texture to the Faber-Castell. I always love to finish the videos with the Faber-Castell one. You know this because I've used it in all the videos, and yeah, Carandash is very similar texture, so I think for today maybe I just use that one. It's more soft, it's a softer tone. So we can actually create a little bit of, like this, some shapes around, okay, some shading around, okay, with this one like this. And for Inoue as well, we do a little bit darker the hair like this. I will want to do a very quick second line to some of these guys, so we have them all together in kind of the same tone, like we have Ichigo on the front. And to define a little bit the head, for example, here for Chad as well, and the clothing as well. It's a shame, for example, that we didn't see Matsumoto, for example. She was revived with Getsuga Tensho, but it didn't show up. I guess she went somewhere else to do something, or she came back for Kira or something, or to help Kira, I don't know. It's a little bit of a shame. As I said, Ikkaku, I would say, is one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite. I would have loved as well to see him fight more at the end, okay? Release the Bankai, for example, and, have a conversation with Yumichika's about the true sword, because Yumichika has a problem with being in the Squadron 11 and having a Kido base real Sanpakuto, okay? So Yumichika, when he's fighting in front of Ikkaku or Kenpachi, he's fighting with the one that looks like this shape, but actually when he releases the weapon for real, fighting about one of the rankers, we see that it's a Kido thing, and he explains that, I'm ashamed of this, blah, blah, blah. So these two are very good friends, like they are nakama. Nakama is a very strong concept in the Japanese mangas. And I would have loved to see a moment, just a moment, when Yumichika releases the sword while Ikaku is in Bankai fighting someone. It doesn't even need to do it doesn't even need to be a major character, but fighting someone, okay? They release the sword, and Ikaku is like, hey, what is this? This is not. And then Yumichika tries to explain himself, and Ikaku says, I knew it since the very beginning. You didn't have to hide yourself. You didn't need to hide yourself. You are my nakama, and whatever type of Sambakuto you have, I'm here, with you. And something like that, like a little bit of melancholy there, a little bit of brotherhood, brothers in arms. These two guys are the concept of brothers in arms the whole time in the whole story, and I love it. I love it. So it would make sense for me if something like that is shown as well from these two guys. But I guess we missed the chance, I guess. I think the drawing is looking very nice. I like it. I think I need to add a little bit more of definition to Inoue here, for example. But in general, I'm liking it. It's looking very nice. It's looking cartoony, funny as well. Like, I love the characters, especially Inoue when she goes into cartoony mode in the story, and Ichigo and Renji do this as well. I done for a friend many years ago a shirt. I painted a t-shirt for him with cartoony Ichigo and cartoony Renji doing silly faces, and that was very nice. I have some photos probably somewhere at some point I'll show, but that was very, very nice. I may even go for 0.3 to do the 0.3 or 0.2 to do a little bit of reline work here around, okay? As I said, I may do every now and then some videos about Bleach, talking about Renji only, for example, how he evolved, how he got his Bankai, then how he got his true Bankai, because we see actually 2 levels of his Bankai, and about Kenpachi, how he got his name, what happened with Unohana, because Unohana, just gonna quick, Unohana was the previous Kenpachi, and she is a killing machine, and to actually claim the name of true Kenpachi, that's why we don't see her at the very end of the story. She had to fight to the death Kenpachi, Saraki Kenpachi, to actually see who was gonna be stronger, who was gonna be claiming the name, and who was gonna be the strongest. Okay, only one can be the strongest there, physically stronger. So that is very nice. I can do videos about that as well if you are interested as well at some point. It will be nice to do individual characters, spend more time with some of them, and define some part of the story, okay? Some parts of the story, and even amplify some parts of the story that I will say, oh, this part I will do this specific, and we are talking about Inoue in a specific part, and it can be something interesting. So as well, feel free to tell me in the comments if you would like to see something like that, okay? I think we are centered here, nice and everything. I don't see any... Doing this a little bit, some details here, the up and down, to define the end of the video. Something like this is nice. What happened to Yachiru as well, what happened to Yachiru with Kenpachi, that Kenpachi is a little bit oblivious to where is she at the very end. I loved Bleach in so many parts, in so many aspects. I love every single one of the characters. I love them. They are very, very nicely done characters, but I think they need a little bit more of development, character development, okay? Character development within the storytelling and within the world building of Bleach as a concept, okay? Bleach, the name, because many people asked about this, Bleach is so random. Oh, what happened with Bleach? What is the meaning? Because Bleach is the product to clean, okay? So Bleach was taken because in theory, at the beginning, Kubo wanted this to be called white. White, so white, black, it's gonna be white, it's gonna be black. And because the concept of the whitey, this character that we see with Ichigo's mom flashback, and that's the reason why Ichigo has Shinigami and Quincy power. The Quincy power comes from there. He decided to say, this is the white and this is the black of the Shinigami. The Quincies are the white, and the hollow, the whitey, the for hollowification is the white, and the Shinigami is the black. So I'm gonna use Bleach like a term of changing. At the very end of the story, we see how Ichigo, his powers are taken, so he changes color as well from the white shape and the horn and the hollowification with the Quincy, with the Shinigami powers, all of the powers together, and the full bring, all the powers together. So he's kind of losing the color and going into the black as well, and I think that is why he took that as a name for the story. Okay, a little bit weird, I have to say, but hey, it's a name for the story. I guess you need to decide the name that you fancy, or that you think it's more connected to your story. Okay, so yeah, we almost finished. Okay, we're almost finished. I love in particular the beginning, the finding of the powers, the hero's journey, the going to save Rukia, facing all the Shinigami, beasts of fighting. I love it, the gods of death, basically. The Hueco Mundo saga is brutally epic, with this whole Aizen Sousuke story. Aizen is 100% the best villain in the story, the best character, or the best written character in the story, I have to say. His storyline is very nice, very clever. I don't agree with in Bleach we should have finished with Aizen, because I enjoyed the whole thing. I enjoyed the full brings in his own way. I enjoy the Bizards in his own way, and in its own way I enjoy the Eastern Ritters, the Band Rage in its own ways, but it is missing pieces, yes. I feel maybe Noriaki Kubo, that's his name, Kubo Tite, had this part very well thought, and then the rest, he said, why not? Let's try and make it bigger. I think maybe he reached the point of Aizen, and that was his original story, and maybe there was some pressures there from the magazine, from the producers, and they were saying, hey, this has been very successful. Why won't we do a little bit more? What do you think? Should we extend a little bit? And then Kubo probably said, yeah. And he decided to do the whole story with the Quincies and everything. That originally maybe it wasn't thought. I haven't been able to watch any or to see any interview with him or something talking about this, talking about the end of the story or anything. But I suspect that something like this may have happened. Okay, because you can feel it. You can feel it in the storytelling. Let's do the glasses here, and the Renji's hair is crazy, super cool, super epic, I think I need to paint him a little bit, tiny bit more, because he has basically no color. I painted him almost like Ryu, very white. Like this, I like it more. Tiny bit more of color there. It's good like this. Yes. It's talking, it takes shape. Probably this video has been a little bit long, but I've been enjoying the analysis. I finished it the other day and I needed to talk about it. I needed to express my Bleach ideas and my Bleach concepts. In some of the other videos, next videos in Bleach as well, we can discuss things like, Arisawa and Keigo didn't get the power like Chad and Orihime, for example. Why it didn't happen? We see them all the time with Ichigo, very close friends to Ichigo, and every day with him. Why didn't they have power? Yusu and Karin, what happened with them as well? Why only Karin seemed to have a little bit of power and nothing about Yusu? And we can talk about Ishin, the father, Kurosaki Ishin, and analyze how a person, and that's one of those things that is difficult to understand. If he was a Shinigami originally, he was a soul. He was dead already. Even if he went into the body, in another body that Urahara created, was he human? Was he able to have family, have kids? He shouldn't have. Where is the border? Where is the border between life and death in this story? So let's say Ichigo is human or Inoue is human. Inoue is gonna die at some point, and Inoue will show up in Soul Society as a spirit, and then she can come back like Ishin did. That's a hole there. That's something that needs analysis and needs explanation. It doesn't work because the characters can't go up and down all the time. Someone like Shinigami could move as a ghost, as a spirit, yes, but in general, Ichigo, Ishin, the mom, these guys, Uryu, there is a little bit of a weird balance there, okay? So feel free to ask any kind of questions or write any opinion that you want, or write a specific name of a character that you want to see developed in a video, only specific video for the character, for example. Let's talk about it. I'm open to discuss more and more things about Bleach, but obviously you need to understand, as I explained during the whole video today, that some of the things we will not have a proper 100% full explanation. We will have to guess some things and maybe invent some things to be able to close a character, let's say, okay? But I think for today, I think we finished. We have these last lines for Inoue, a little bit here. That's the arm. Okay. Yeah, I think we are done here. My cartoony Bleach team is done. Okay, let's sign. This is DavidViadel23, DavidViadel23, you can say it as you want, and this is the Mandragon's Cave. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like this review, analysis, justification of why Bleach ended up how it ended up, and how we could have it a little bit more engaging, let's say. But I enjoyed it a lot, the video, and yeah, you know, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends, with your nakama, and with everyone that you consider that may like it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye.